This is the barn. Now, this is just a normal 2-car garage. I got my laying hens over here. They're all down there eating on some food right now, and they lay their eggs in here. And it's a nest box, and they got the rollout. It stays heated with heating mats. They even come over here though with my rabbits, which are New Zealand's, and they share a yard out there, and they come in here and they even lay eggs in this box. I lift that up and grab the eggs out of there. I just changed all the bedding. This is my new round of chickens coming in, and I cut a door there where they are going to merge into the colony and merge with this colony as well of chickens. And my hope and thought is that they'll all live happy in a community, and that'll work out great. So these rabbits share our yard out there with these chickens, and there's a spot where they even go underneath the garage and they tunnel, and they got babies that pop up out of there. I just noticed a couple new ones today in here, and they'll have yet to have babies in these boxes, one here and one here and then in here. So they're all doing their thing down there. There's 3 does in this colony right now and 1 buck, and then a bunch of juveniles, kits, younger ones coming up. And I want to have 6 over here of the does and then 2 bucks, and that'll be a comfortable number to be at. I need to build a couple more boxes in here, but they're going outside in the tunnel right now, and I like that. That's cool and clever of them. And these are, the black ones are black Jersey Giant roosters, which are going to be meat birds, and then the others are Isa Browns that are going to be for egg layers. And these are sex links that are down there right now. And then over here is my silver fox meat rabbits, which is what those are too. So this is production for meat, and this is a group. I want to have the same numbers, 6 and 2, 6 females for breeders. And then see that one brown, he's my first brown one, and I'm hoping he's a buck because I have 1 buck in here now and 4 does. The other one is coming up now, I think is a 5th doe actually, so I think 5 does and the 1 buck, and I think that's going to be a buck. I'm hoping. I haven't looked yet. And then whichever way I'm going to keep, because of the brown pattern in the genetics there, so that's new, and I want that. And I have a white one, but she's inside right now. Her health isn't as, it's just something wrong with her legs. I don't know if she's going to be able to have babies, unfortunately, and it's sad because I wanted the white. And so we'll see if I get white out of what's here, you know, as we go. Maybe that color will come back from one of them and their genetics there, their traits. And then the water bowl here, I got to fill that up. I got water in the bucket. It's over inside. I got to grab that. Then I'll pour that, and that's right from the 5-gallon bucket now. I'm bringing those out here with the filtered water and filling that thing, and then there's another one there I gotta fill. And then the chickens can, I grab that, and then I grab this can too, and they just change those out inside. And they got their boxes. I just built a new box there for them, which has 2 chambers in it right here. It's got this chamber which goes back, and there's another one that goes in, same thing on the other side on the back there. And then back there in that box, there's they put kits. One of the females likes it in there, and then another one actually goes in here. I've never seen anything in here yet. They like to hang out in here. And then down outside in the summer, last summer, they were exploring and getting, and there was even some kits they had out there in the hole. So we'll see how that goes this year. They'll probably do the same. I'll designate areas for them and let them dig and have their little nests outside in their runs. Everybody's happy, really healthy. These hens, I'm going to be moving some of them out there. I got a area out there, a box built under the deck, and they're going to go in there and lay eggs. There's a couple out there now. sometimes there's even an egg back here. Two of them. Every day is like an Easter egg hunt in here. I don't mind them just kind of laying their eggs wherever they want. Some people would not like to do this. I totally get that. Like, that's what the idea of the big nest box is for them to all lay in there. But because I give them such free range, they decide to just do whatever they want. So I just go with it. I kind of like it. Seeing what they do, how they do things versus I'm trying to be like as passive as possible. Let nature do its thing. Just let me just provide me my sustenance and I'm good. So you notice there was like 10 of them in the, eight of them in there. There's only 2 where they're supposed to be. That's funny. That's a mini Rex. The breed is mini Rex, and they're not actually meat rabbits. I have a few of those. They're like pet rabbits, and they just run around out here, and they guard the perimeter. I just put in, these are all cucumbers. So the Market More cucumbers that were over here, still are some. I got them all laid out. I just mixed up a bunch more dirt, soil. So I'm gonna let this grow here over here on the cucumber trellis. The cucumbers are down in there. They're getting big now. I got a strawberry that's spining out. and maybe it'll grow on there. But we'll see. And in here, companion planted. So I planted these ones along like the back of the fabric pot here, so that way when it gets tall they can grow up onto the trellis, and then in front of them is these kales. So I had a bunch of these kales too, so I put all these in front. Same way here, there's 3 of them along the back of the pot, and then the kales are all mixed up in between too, well in front. And then in this pot is all kale, and then all kale here. So I planted out a bunch more kale. I want to have just a ton of those all around. I am going to do the rest of these cucumbers, so I got more soil in there that I'm going to mix around and get it out into these fabric pots. This year I'm building the greenhouse out there. It's going to be the sunken kind, and inside it is going to be you know, a compost pile. I got a bunch of compost already going now. The animals bedding, I just cleaned it all out, and there's a whole ton of it. It kind of built up from a lot of the winter. I just got to it yesterday, and now it's all over in the pile. And I'm going to put that pile into the greenhouse, and it will keep it like the thermal mass, and the decomposition process will be like a heater core, and that will keep it warm. That's the idea there. And like maybe even like 60 degrees all through the winter as it's underground and like insulated. So I'm gonna build the frame over top of the mound that I'm gonna dig out, a mound, and then I'm gonna build a frame over the top and put the greenhouse plastic like that. The frame out of recycled pallet wood. You can use that. I'm break down every pallet. I go accumulate pallets now, and I break down and repurpose all that wood. You can break them down in 20 minutes, and then that's wood. It's renewable resource. Everything regenerative. It's where this goes, guys. It's where this goes. Apparently, and it's healthy. I like it. The wood burning stove. The wood burning. So these lights, when I was coming in here the other day, cleaning and organizing in here, I noticed these lights kind of hang in my way and bump my head on them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put like hooks back on the wall so I can pull the light back, and it will hold it back closer to the wall so I can get in there and work and stuff when I need to shuffle things around to clean. Look at this lemon basil popping up. Those are what's left of my kales. I gotta plant out like what's here, here and here and all down there. I'm gonna go ahead, and there's a few spots on these towers, like over here, right down in here, there's a spot, and then this little strawberry didn't make it. Gonna replant that with those kales, companion plant, and replant anywhere where things die or there's extra spot. Like, I mean, there's almost an extra spot right here. I'll just go ahead, put one there too. Look at that strawberry. I'm about to grab that. Every night I come in here, and for the past 5 nights now, since they've all been really ripening, I come in here and I grab probably like 6 to 8 berries, and that's my fruit for the day for now. And it comes summer and all that, I'll have a bunch more fruit out there, but right now this is what I got, and it's a lifesaver. I don't have to go to the store and buy fruit. It'd be cool to have more fruits, but it's not in season, and for next season I may even have enough fruits from the year to can and help even get me through. But I'm gonna be doing a ton more strawberries in here. I may even, if it's supposed to be warm tomorrow, and I may even get out there and pull a bunch more plugs from my strawberry patch, and that'll thin out my patch for this new season as well, which is healthy. You want to do that with your strawberries so they don't get too thick, and then they got room for new growth every year because they just keep on growing and keep on growing out and out and out. And then pull those and share them and reseed and seed everywhere you can and use it like a ground cover. So that's a good way to think about strawberries. Use them as a ground cover anywhere that you can, everywhere that you can, and strawberries will come up. So there's in here I've had maybe 1 out of 10 berry might sit or too long or get soggy or have a little rot on it. Outdoors it's probably the same, maybe even 2 out of 10 more so, 2 or 3 out of 10 last year. But there's ways to mitigate that as well with your strawberries. But yeah, it's just a friggin' fantastic. I just am overwhelmed, overjoyed. I don't even know what to say. I get flabbergasted and have to edit these clips out. But I'll leave this one in just so you guys can see how excited I am. And this is my bean that's coming up now. And it's a beautiful, beautiful bean. One thing I was thinking about beans. So it's great. I love it. And I want more of it. So there's only one down in there. There's a couple down in there. I'm going to start planting like 2 or 3 all right next to each other whenever I do a companion plant thing like that. So that way there's a few there, and if they all come up, that's an abundant little amount right there gathering on whatever it is that it's climbing, and that's a lot more than just having one bean going up. Because you see there's one going up over here. I just had a few because I wanted to test this whole thing. It's all new to me. But now I'm thinking overload it. Not overload it, but you know, high intensity everywhere, everything. Especially with the beans, I think that it can handle that kind of thing. So where there's that one, I'll just put boom, 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 3. And then if one dies, there's 2. If, you know, I've had a couple in here that die, so it's like 2 is 1 and 1 is none. And 3 is just where you want to be. So that's where we're at. And the zucchini, big one there too. There's a cucumber behind it. It'll probably come up and through. I'll make sure of it, and we'll probably be fine. There's zucchini and a cucumber in that red pot there. So this one's got its own pot. I'll just leave that be. We'll see how this thing grows. I may have to add more dirt, maybe not. I don't know if I should bury up the zucchini stalk like that, so I may not, but I may have to stake it up and support it. Maybe put a tomato cage in there. Maybe do that now, and that would be a really nice support, and I could even help support that down with zip ties on the cage to tie it to the bag with like just pop a hole in the bag and run the zip tie and help secure the cage to the bag. That way it's really, really stable for the zucchini plant to grow all up in. The gray zucchini. Now it's going to have 2 flowers on it, the male and the female flower. That's how you do the zucchini, so you can pollinate it all right there on the same plant. So you grab that pollen from the male flower and just dust it onto the female flower, and then the female flower will produce you the fruit. So there's a little bit, you can look into the way that they look, so you can see the difference. Just, you know, search it on the internet, the male and female flower and the pollination technique. You can figure all that out really simple. And that's what I did, is I'm looking online and into what all I can grow, which fruits and vegetables I can grow that I can self-pollinate all indoors, that may have, like the strawberry has, and the bugs even do it naturally. So if a bug comes in here, they'll move that pollen around. But the strawberry has it the same way, where the male and the female part is on the same little flower there. So you just grab the pollen and dust it onto the female part. And anything that I can do like that, I'm trying to do, for sure. I want to have all that kind of stuff. So pollination techniques and really utilizing what you can do just by hand with your brush. It's like painting the fruit. You're the artist here. This is all art, beautiful little art, and I'm the artist just painting the fruit into existence. Right now I'm preparing for potential fallout, nuclear war. I like to just stay up on the trends, so stay ahead of the curve. Well, yeah. And something I'm doing and I was thinking about, so the chimney, right, of the wood-burning stove, how do you go ahead and secure that so that no draft gets through down that pipe because it's wide open? And I was thinking, dirt, soil, in a couple of 2 or 3 5-gallon buckets right there. And if it ever goes down hard, I will go ahead and take those buckets and just fill that stove up. Just fill it. Where you would put the wood, I'll just cram it full of soil and dirt, and that'll block it up. That'll pack it and stop it, and that'll stop all the draft. Everywhere else is sealed pretty much. That heat exchange, I would think that maybe some draft could get out in and around where that heat exchange is. So maybe put some tape around that and some plastic. In worst case scenario, have that ready there so I can tape around that, put like a plastic wrap right there at the top, and then even tape the seams up with the Gorilla Tape real good where they're down at the base, because I'm not going to be burning a fire if, you know, you're prepping in and bugging in like that. So that would be good to have that, just something there ready to prep that out real quick. All the seams are sealed. Things where there will be or would be drafts, like the access to the attic, that's got, you know, the wood that you push up and slide, and you crawl up in there to the attic. So I'm gonna put a strip there. The bathroom fan where there could be draft that comes in from up in the attic. That is an old fan actually that doesn't really work, so I'm gonna tape that off. That's another thing. So go around and check all your things out on your walls everywhere around your house to tape them off. Plastic, and you know, I'm using the greenhouse and the pond liner plastic, so it's thick enough, thick, good stuff, that and the Gorilla Tape. And then other things too, I'm velcroing off like main doors, like the front door and this sliding door. There's velcro so I can still access them, and it's really custom. And I'm thinking as I work downstairs and go into my fallout shelter, which is in my basement room, corner basement room, and I'm gonna prep out the doorways so I can seal up every door as I go all the way down and into. And then in that room I'm gonna have everything: buckets, food, water, filtration. I have, you know, the prep gear, the basic like stuff, not so much basic, but it's the stuff, the mask and the iodine, all that stuff. But the real important part is prepping out a shelter for yourself underground, surrounded by dirt, you know, like feet of dirt. And you can get sandbags and prep up sandbags and just fill them with dirt, and even build yourself like a teepee or a hut surrounded by all that dirt and sand. And that's really good for protection, along with all of the other measures that come before that: sealing off the house, burying back your basement windows. So like if you got windows that are exposed there, those little slot windows for the basement up top, you want to bury them and cover them with dirt from the outside so they're not exposed for drafts, or thinly exposed to the elements. So those get covered up. Don't break them, but bury them up. And even from the inside you can fortify them, do things to do that. There's a lot of good videos and stuff. I'm just really now diving deep into this nuclear war survival skills and putting it all into play. And there's a lot of good channels that will discuss it. And that's like New York Prepper and Southern Prepper 1. Those are a couple good ones to start. I'm sure there's more, but that's where I am. I'm watching videos there. Green Greg's is doing stuff for survival, nuclear war preparation. That's another channel that I'm going to start watching his videos. I haven't yet, but I was listening to him the other night, and he's saying how he's got extensive guides on what to do, what to know. But most important thing to do and to know is just to start and get the materials you need and start putting them into place. Because you don't want to be doing this at the last second. I hear people saying, you know, I got my plastic ready, I got my duct tape ready. It's ready, but dude, this stuff takes time. I mean, to set all this up, plastic on the doors, on the windows, you know, everywhere. There's plastic to everything. Check this out. This is my Velcro seal door. I just installed this. It's got plastic and Velcro and Gorilla Tape. So this is going to be to proof me against drafts coming up. The straw, I'm going to bale my grass and my leaf, well, maybe not so, I'll save leaf litter, but it won't be in the bales as much. Maybe a little bit here and there will be, but it will be the grass and the leafy greens, strawberry leaves and bean plant leaves. In particular, I'm going to focus on harvesting a bunch of that. Sunflowers, all that stuff can be saved for the rabbits and the chickens, and I'm going to be saving everything I can to get through the winter. And I'm also going to be trying to feed them all everything I can through the summer and spring and fall and everything, and keep them and get them to be eating just off the land and not having to buy feed inputs. So I got to work on all that, getting the right grains growing, ultimately figuring it all out for the chickens, for the grains. I mean, the rabbits can raise just off grass, and that's a good thing. So I'm going to build the template box to bale my straw, that, well, my straw, not my straw, but hay. So straw is like not nutrient, there's no nutrients, it's used as like a bedding, whereas the hay has got like, it's grass, it's good dried up stuff that's got nutrients in it. But I'm going to be doing all sorts of things that are nutrient dense, and I'll set them out to dry on like a tarp and let them dry and then cram them in the box, you know, lay the strings out
and cram them in the box and then tie it up real good and then tip it over, and then you got a bale. So now you got your own bales. You don't got to pay for them. You're harvesting, saving, collecting all season long. Boom. Food, seed saving, and overwintering everything that you can. And I'm focusing on staples, bulk amounts of high intensity everything. So the animals and being able to get their feed, and with water, I even give them fresh, clean water. They get this, and I got buckets now. I'm just taking buckets out there with a bunch of water, and as I get more animals expanding, I'm going to be just hauling buckets around and filling up their water bowls with that. I'm using these too. These are blender bottles, and I use these also, but they take longer to fill and use up. And so I'm working on transitioning to just buckets, and I'll fill them up with my Berkey systems. I've built some systems out of food grade 5 gallons, and I got them all lined up. Use them for everything, for cleaning and my food and all that preparations for my food. I don't touch any dirty water ever, and that's how I stay healthy. That's just, you know, simple as that, and it's conviction. I don't slip. The grass. So the grass I'm going to cut and harvest that. When I get to it this year for the front yard and whatever's in the back, we'll go over. I'm going to maybe get a push mower, something simple with takes no gasoline or energy to use besides me, and then I can rake that up and use that and bale that along with all the other stuff I dry up.